Greetings, everyone. I would like to thank you for giving your time and interest in joining this informative webinar. In this webinar, we'll be deep diving to understand how DDI solutions, combining the core network services, DNS, DHCP, and IPAM, can be leveraged by hospitality sector to build a strong and effective network infrastructure for providing seamless network service. This webinar is dedicated to ID professionals, hotel and lodging stakeholders, hotel owners, and also for the individuals who are interested to gain knowledge on how hospitality networks work and how DDI solutions function, and how they can be implemented for benefiting in terms of network efficiency and security. You will be welcome to stay with us till the end of the session. So let's get started. Let me introduce myself. I'm your host, Vikram Aditya, product expert from Manage Engine. I collaborate with the Manage Engine DDI Central and Cloud DNS marketing teams. I talk about the critical network services, DNS, DHCP, and IPAM, and how much vital they are for increasing operational efficiency, strengthen the security, provide robust control over the network activities, and complete transformation in the network infrastructure of the hotel organizations. Let us now go through the agenda for today's webinar. Firstly, we'll start to identify and understand the networking issues faced by modern hotels and lodges with charts and real-life examples. Then we'll go through the key networking requirements demanded by the hospitality sector for managing their network smoothly and effectively. Next, we understand how DDI solutions can involve in strengthening the network infrastructure with its features and policies. We'll then move on to explore the importance of network segmentation strategies and how necessary they are for compartmentalizing and optimizing the network resource. For effective hotel operations, we'll then be understanding how real-time updating, monitoring, and connectivity mitigate network delays and errors. Then we'll explore on how low latency connectivity enhances surveillance, IoT integration, and overall safety. For building consistent network service, we'll be understanding how automated failover mechanism is crucial for 24/7 service run. Cybersecurity is the topmost priority, and we'll talk about how DNS firewall policies and network segmentation help mitigate cyber threats and unauthorized access. Finally, we'll discuss how a robust IP infrastructure supports the longevity and efficiency of the hotel network support through real-life use cases. By the end of this session, you'll have a clear understanding of how hotels and lodges stay connected, secure, and strong with the power of DDI solutions. Hotels today are no longer just about hospitality. They are also highly connected digital ecosystems, from online bookings and digital payments, gateways, to Wi-Fi access and smart room technologies. Hotels handle massive volume of sensitive customer data daily. This includes personal identification details, financial information, and travel histories, all of which make them prime targets for cyber attackers. The hospitality sector industry has become increasingly vulnerable to cyber attacks due to its reliance on interconnected systems. Many hotels still operate with outdated IT infrastructure, weak password policies, and insufficient network segmentation, thus creating multiple points of entry for attackers. Additionally, the transient nature of hotel guests make it difficult to enforce strong cybersecurity practices across user devices. Further exposing hotel networks to risks, let's see the common attacks in hotels. Point of sale attacks involves the hotel payment systems that are often targeted with malware being installed on POS terminals to capture cardholder data during transactions. The attacks are usually difficult to detect as the malware operates silently in the background. And there's data breaches where large volumes of sensitive guest information such as passport details, addresses, and financial records are stored by hotels and are frequently exposed through weak network security, or phishing attacks. Once accessed, the data is often sold on the dark web or used for identity theft or fraud. And finally, we have the ransomware attack, where hotel systems, including booking platforms, Wi Fi networks, and keycard systems, are sometimes locked or encrypted by attackers. As a result, operations are disrupted and ransom payments are often demanded to regain access. The impact can be severe as downtime directly affects guest experience and revenue. Now let us look at the common cyber attack examples. In March 2024, Omni Hotels and Resorts was hit by a major cyber attack that forced the shutdown of IT systems across 50 plus US properties. Online booking, digital keys, and internal operations went offline for weeks, leaving staff and guests to rely on manual check ins and paper transactions. While Omni hasn't disclosed exact losses, extended downtime in hospitality typically runs into millions, alongside reputational damage and guest frustration. This attack highlights how dependent hotels are on digital systems and the urgent need for stronger cyber defenses. In September 2023, MGM Resorts International suffered a ransomware attack by the Black Cat Group, crippling slot machines, digital keys, booking systems, and payments across the Las Vegas properties. The company shut down the critical systems and recovery stretched beyond 10 days. MGM reported losses exceeding 100 million, with additional risks of stolen customer data. This attack shows how vulnerable the hospitality industry is to cyber attacks, who exploit its reliance on digital operations for financial gain. This financial impact hurts hotels in several ways. The 42% loss from disrupted operations means cancelled booking, lower occupancy, and reduced revenue. Attorney fees and lawsuits increase legal pressure and damage reputation. Forensic investigations and crisis management add extra expenses just to recover. Smaller but significant costs like regulatory fines and compliance upgrades strain budgets further. Altogether, these impacts reduce profits, weaken guest trust, and make recovery slow and costly. Now, let us look at the network demands of the hospitality sector. The hotels need a single unified system where IT staff can manage all the devices, policies, and services running across the property. Instead of juggling within multiple systems, admins can configure Wi Fi access points, firewalls, and switches from one place. Hotels handle sensitive information like guest personal data, credit card transactions, and loyalty program accounts. Building a secure system ensures that this data is protected from the cyber attacks and breaches. Compliance with regulatory data regulations such as GDPR or PCI DSS also keeps the hotel legally safe. For hotel chains with properties in different cities or countries, secure and reliable interbranch connections are vital. This allows smooth communication between headquarters and individual hotels, enabling centralized booking systems, shared guest databases, and consistent brand strategies. Hotels need to see in real time how their network is being used. For example, streaming services on smart TVs and guest devices might require high priority than background software updates. Real time monitoring helps identify suspicious activities, like if someone tries to overload the network or access restricted systems. And finally, without an organized IP address system, it can quickly become chaotic, especially in large hotels where thousands of devices may connect daily. A structured IP address plan ensures that admins know exactly which device belongs where, making it easier to monitor usage, fix problems, and plan for future capacity. As you can see in this image, multiple branches of an hotel organization are interconnected in a single network through private WAN network. In a hotel chain environment, each individual hotel will have its own LAN connect, and these LANs are connected to each other and to the main headquarters through the private WAN. The structure provides a high degree of communication and involves a high performance private WAN serving as the backbone. The backbone is often established using dedicated IP/MPLS routes or an optical core that interconnects all parts of the network with transmission devices, while the branches connected to it are connected via SD-WAN, SDN, or IP/MPLS augmented via VPN. This image represents how the single branch LAN network looks like, and as you can see, both DNS and DHCP servers are managed individually. When an hotel organization manages all the DNS and DHCP servers individually, network administrators would find it difficult to implement policies or troubleshoot issues or update the resource. When hotel organizations implement different solutions, software, and strategies, network admins will find it difficult to administrate an integrated network infrastructure and also to safeguard network resources. The main challenge of network admins is to converge, manage, and monitor the entire hotel network under a common IP infrastructure. And let us see how the implementation of DDI solutions can benefit network admins to manage the network infrastructure under a centralized platform. Now let us understand what DDI is and how it is recommended for organizations to strengthen their network infrastructure, optimize network resources, and effectively manage the network and its resources. With the DDI solution, network admins can able to discover and manage DHCP scopes, dynamically assign IP address to hosts, enforce custom DHCP fingerprinting policies for devices, manage DNS zones, domain views, and DNS records, set up DNS security policies, analyze real-time DNS query traffic, review DNS and DHCP audit logs, manage dual-stack IPv4 and IPv6 address inventories. All of the above can be handled in a single window, reducing the need to jump into individual solutions for DNS and DHCP operations. Manage Engine has its own DDI solution called Manage Engine DDI Central, which is a user-friendly centralized platform that unifies DNS, DHCP, and IPAM for an improved management and security of the hospitality operations. This strengthens the stability and reliability of the organization's network infrastructure. DDI Central manages your existing Linux-based IEC by 9 and IEC DHCP installations and can also set up new clusters for DNS and DHCP. It can also manage your Microsoft Windows DNS and DHCP clusters. This webinar will give you a detailed understanding over its features, policies, and benefits. To make things more interesting, DDI solutions help easily manage DNS, DHCP, and IPAM configurations of each individual hotels that are connected to the organization's network via technologies such as SD-WAN, IP/MPLS, core via VPN, and even through dark fiber cables. As you onboard your hotel's branches, DNS, and DHCP clusters into DDI Central, the application starts to discover all the configurations on a granular level for a clear visibility with real-time data. DDI Central's UI organizes all the configurations, making it easy to control the core services and make changes when needed. Analyze the real-time valuable insights over each DNS and DHCP clusters to gain visual summary for quick troubleshooting. Hotel network admins can manage and view their core services distributed across different branches, all in a single window. Network admins can add DNS and DHCP servers of each hotel branches and data centers as separate clusters. in which the data will be discovered and displayed through the common dashboard. Here, you can monitor the health and performance of your service and the total usage of each network resource, and also get alerts for any network issues. This dashboard provides admins with a contextualized view over the network for quick detection and troubleshooting of network issues. Role-based access controls (RBAC) in DDI Central allows network admins to grant access to individuals in the organization based on their respective roles. In RBAC, we got four roles: two primary administrator and operator roles, and the other two roles are for only monitoring purposes. The admin role provides access to all the clusters and settings, while the operator role provides specific access based on the individual's core responsibilities. Permissions can be limited on cluster-based, service-specific, which is DNS, DHCP, or both, and zone level for every individuals based on their hierarchical roles. By providing this flexibility in permissions assignments, DDI Central ensures that individuals have just the right level of access to perform their tasks effectively, while maintaining security and minimizing the risk of unauthorized changes. Network segmentation is the key element of an organization, where a large network with multiple network resources can be compartmentalized into different segments based on their service and purpose. In the hospitality sector, there will be different network departments like Wi-Fi connectivity, keyless check-ins and checkouts, VIP phone support, app services, point of sale systems, staff communication tools, and more. The network must ensure that clients, staff, or users connect to their respective departments without interrupting the other sections and also prevent network conflicts and issues. Now imagine how many administrators you would require to manually manage such an integrated network infrastructure. It is very highly impractical. Here's where DDI solution becomes essential. DDI Central enables network admins to segment different sections of the network and implement policies and options for setting service providing to specific clients. During a security breach or incident or network issue, segmentation contains the impact within the affected area, prevents spreading the attack, and protects other departments from getting exposed to the incident. Hotels will have multiple connected devices and systems such as front desk computers, guest Wi-Fi devices, IPTV systems, room controls, POS terminals, and staff operations tools. And to ensure smooth connectivity and avoid issues like IP conflicts or overlapping subnets, these devices need to be properly segmented and managed through IP leasing. This process of dividing and structuring the network into different sections is called network segmentation. In hotels, this segmentation can be easily achieved with the DHCP Scope Manager in DDI Center. Using this feature, admins can allocate separate DHCP scopes for guest devices, staff devices, surveillance cameras, and IoT systems like smart locks or thermostats. Scopes can be organizing in a clear hierarchy per floor, per department, or per service type, and then combined to form one large, centrally controlled hotel network. Let's see how it's done in DDI Center. Here in DDI Central, you can create subnets with a specific pool range for specific devices and machines in your hospitality network, like BOID devices, cameras, routers, POS systems, white phones, etc., which helps in segmenting different departments without overlapping. You can also create static subnets of different pool ranges to ensure leasing is done for specific defined devices and prevent DHCP from leasing for general uses. This is a way of separating from other subnets and provide a specific purpose for leasing. You can add different subnets with different pool into a single supernet for administrators to organize multiple subnets in a hierarchical method for an easy visual breakdown. Admins can combine multiple different subnets and define configurations with DHCP options or custom options with the help of shared network. You can categorize certain subnets to be under a virtual LAN with VLAN feature and describe their purpose. You can assign fixed IPs for critical devices with the help of DHCP's host reservation. And it's important to note that SuperNet and VLAN helps in organizing subnets to make administration simplified, and there won't be any configurations available for both of them. In the IPAM module, you can view the entire IP address inventory of the configured subnets. And when you go through each specific subnet in IPAM, a donut plot provides a visual summary of the number of IP addresses in the subnet and their availability status, helping admins in optimizing the IP address utilization. It also helps during IP address conflicts, where admins can find and click on the available IP address and allocate them as a fixed IP to one of the conflicting hosts for quick resolving. IPAM thus provides hands-on control over the IP address inventory of the subnet. Let's consider a hotel branch hosts a website called zilkahotels.com with two versions, one having the generic information regarding its services, pricing, room, plans, and etc. And another one that comprises the confidential information of the hotel's finances, employees, etc., which should only be accessed by the hotel staff and management. Now, when an external visitor tries to access the website, they should only be accessing the generic information for booking purposes. While when a staff member accesses the website, they should be viewing the confidential information. So, the hotel management needs to separate the domain resolution for their website to secure their organization data. Here's where DNS domain views comes into play, a crucial role for separating resolution for different departments. Network admins can customize DNS responses for the same domain for different departments, enforce network security, and increase control over access to different departments with your organization's network. DNS views consist of internal and external view match lists. The internal view list includes IP address or subnets that belong to the organization's internal network. Typically, the IP ranges assigned by internal DHCP servers or routers that employees only connect to. The external view list is usually defined as any, meaning it matches any public IP that does not fall within the internal range. When the IP matches the internal view, it resolves the confidential website that can be accessed by the employees. And when IP matches the external view, it resolves to the generic website for the visitors. This way, organizations can implement network segmentation in the DNS resolution process for specific resolving to client based on departments. The domain query analytics allows you to analyze queries to the views along with the hosted and non-hosted domain. You can view the visual summary of the number of queries to the views and domains for a specific time interval, and the number of queries received for a specific IP address. Select a specific domain or view in the list, which displays metrics of the domain's performance, including hourly query load over a query time frame. You'll also see details of IP addresses leased under a domain, such as lease duration, MAC addresses identifying each host, and the vendors of the host machine. You can see donut charts for total query load across all IPs and for individual query load which can be accessed by clicking on specific IP. Moreover, a separate donut chart provides a visual breakdown of the query volume for different types of DNS records, showcasing the query distribution for each record. And when you click on the specific record type, you can view the list of all zones queried for that specific record. This list includes hourly query loads, queries per second, and the total number of queries covering the zones associated with the record. You can also drill down to a specific zone by clicking on them to view insights of the zone's records. DDI solutions offer comprehensive built-in logging and reporting capabilities that aid in compliance with regulations like the GDPR, PCI DSS, ISO IEC 27001, and more. DDI Central captures audit trails of every action executed on each and every object managed by the DNS and DHCP servers. You can choose the relevant subnet or zone and report the audits of only those segments to the regulators. This saves time and reduces costs compared to reporting full network audit. DDI Central enables you to implement failover mechanism for DNS for both DNS and DHCP services of your organization, help in maintaining consistent services even when service goes down. For both DHCP services, when configuring a subnet, you can add one primary server and add as many secondary servers based on your requirement. The same applies to DNS services where you can add primary and secondary servers for a specific domain. In case the primary goes down, the secondary server steps in to take full responsibility for continuing the services and handling the network's traffic. If you want these servers to split the load, you can enter the relevant value in the split field. For example, a value of 128 here indicates 50-50 load balancing actively involving both primary and secondary servers to handle the DHCP traffic. IPAM in DDI Central collects and links DNS and DHCP data across all clusters, offering a clear contextual view of network services. It acts as a network source of truth, helping admins make informed and data-driven decisions. Key metadata like DNS records, DHCP leases, and IP allocations are visualized through charts for easy analysis and troubleshooting. In the DHCP leases section, admins can see a graph showing the number of leases assigned per hour. A table displays detailed info such as the IP address, lease period, status, assigned MAC address, host name, vendor, and connection type. Clicking on an IP address in the DHCP leases view reveals the lease history, DNS queries linked to the IP, and how many times it was assigned to devices, shown in both table and in chart forms. VLAN details such as VLAN ID, name associated with the subnet, total subnets, usage, and status are also visualized to give deeper insights. The DNS view shows the status of the IP or host, associated domain, DNS record type, and the zone it belongs to, helping admins get a clear picture of IP to DNS mapping. DDI Central combining the three core services in sync will make it easier to set up end-to-end automation involving them, thus making it an automation hub. Here are the following key processes that can be automated using DDI. You can automatically assign IP addresses to hosts with DHCP server through client class, enhancing the efficiency of network and ensures that IP resources are utilized properly, preventing the IP exhaustion and wastage. The dynamic DNS feature in DDI Central automatically updates the DNS records whenever the IP address changes. This ensures that the domain is always accessible to access, always available to access easily. DDI systems automatically detect and resolve IP address conflicts and maintain and update the IP address inventory, ensuring reliability and preventing downtime in hotel services. Scheduled DHCP scopes and DNS records allows network admins to go on a schedule it and forget it mode, enabling them to plan and implement network expansions or updates at a predetermined time for maintaining uninterrupted services. Scheduled DNS or DHCP report from time to time give admins a real-time data of subnet capacities and zone query analytics for better utilization of the IPs. DNS is considered as the first point of contact in the network. So DNS firewall constitutes the network's first line of defense. Following a layered approach, it imparts self-defending capabilities to ensure networks by placing strategy defenses against unwanted intrusions. It actively blocks malicious activity using domain blocking and mitigates ongoing attacks with its response rate limiting policies. So let's see how DNS firewall works. DDI Central's DNS query resolution policies for Windows Microsoft servers help in configuring query responses and redirecting queries to specific network segments based on the criteria such as time, Internet Protocol, and Transfer Protocol. DDI Central's Windows Microsoft enables you to configure DNS responses for different applications or service by defining the zone scope and also implement split brain configurations where you can separate responses for internal and external queries. This helps admins manage the network traffic and segment the responses for different departments of the organization. This also helps in preventing DNS-based attacks. You can configure the QRP in Windows by going into DNS firewall and select DNS QRP. Here, you can create your own QRP by clicking on the Add QRP button and provide details in the field such as name, criteria, condition for matching and not matching. DNS firewall's response policy zones in DDI Central allows you to customize the responses for recognizable domains by implementing security measures such as blocking malicious domains, redirecting users to safer page, and also applying custom policies. The query sent to the RPC domains is further analyzed by DDA Central based on the configured RPC policies, and when it matches the RPC policy, the query will be resolved to custom IP address, and if it doesn't match, it gets blocked and user gets redirected. You can enable RPC by selecting the domain type where a new domain is created, and RPC can be created in the DNS options section by clicking on response policy. The RPC also logs the queries to block domains, providing valuable insights into attempt access to harmful sites and help to identify patterns of malicious activity. DDI Central enables you to apply a variety of DNS options to RPCs to have a granular control over the clients accessing them. Hotel organizations would consist of multiple devices in their network environment, from smart TVs, voice assistants, digital door locks to security cameras, smart lighting, climate control systems, and even IoT sensors. Hotel networks are highly interconnected with each device providing their own service for better guest experience and comfort. That means identifying devices and allocating IP addresses to the right device that are in need of constant connectivity will be tedious for network admins. With hundreds or thousands of devices constantly connecting and disconnecting across guest rooms, lobbies, conference halls, and even back office systems, manually managing these addresses become chaotic. This is where DDA solutions, policies, and configurations comes in to simplify these processes. Network admins can either assign a fixed IP for that particular IoT device through a static subnet, or they can configure to allocate a fixed IP automatically when the device joins and sends DHCP request, all through a host reservation. Also, in host reservation, admins can configure it to be the server's responsibility to automatically allocate an IP to that specific device joining the network. VLANs are defined and VLAN aware DHCP policies are implemented to seamlessly integrate IoT devices while isolating their broadcast traffic from the rest of the network, protecting them from cyber attacks. DHCP reservations further enhance this setup by ensuring that critical surveillance devices always receive consistent IP without the administrative overhead of static assignments. This will be helpful for surveillance cameras, POS systems, routers, and etc. Finally, if you have two different devices in a separate subnets but have some similar configurations need to be implemented, you can add both subnets in a shared network and apply common policies to both. And you can also add two different devices having the same configuration in the same subnet. Let's consider a scenario where a hotel employee has clicked the link with a crafty phishing email and unknowingly gets his or her system infected by malware. Upon connecting to your hostel's private network, the malware tries to covertly access malicious sites using your DNS resolver. DDI Central easily manages such situations with its DNS firewall. This firewall maintains a blacklist comprising a recognized collection of undesirable domains. Before the resolver can provide the actual IP, it checks the domain against this blacklist. If there is a match on the backlist, the resolver does not proceed to fetch the real IP from the external authoritative DNS server. Instead of connecting, the user is redirected to a safety page. By clicking on the DNS firewall in config section, you can provide the domain name to be blocked, category for blocking, and also the redirection IP to redirect clients to safer page. You can also view the domains blocked and domains blocked along with the subdomains in the bottom. On the view list section, when you click on it, you can view the blacklist of miscellaneous domains here with their categories. And this data can be imported as CSV format. DDA Central's Query Analytics provide network admins insight on who sent queries on blocked domains and how many times the queries were sent. In the big tabular column, you can see details about the query request on malicious domains with their record type, IP address, host details, and date and time. You can identify the host machines from which queries were sent through their name or their device's MAC address. Moreover, in the small tabular column, you can see how many queries were sent for that particular block domain IP alongside a chart view on total queries per IP. Now imagine a luxury hotel where hundreds of guests are connecting daily using personal smartphones, laptops, and IoT enabled devices like smart TVs, keyless door locks, and room assistants. One day, the hotel's DNS server started receiving an unusual volume of queries triggered by the botnet based DNS amplification attack. Here's how it unfolds. The attackers spoof the IP address of the hotel's backend systems and flood the servers with small, repetitive queries. Normally, the DNS would respond to each one, but because of the responses are in larger volume than the queries, the result is a flood of amplified data aimed back at the hotel's critical backend application, threatening to bring down guest Wi-Fi, reservation systems, and even front desk check-in services. This type of attack is known as the distributed denial of service or DDoS attack. These threats can be instantly identified using DDI Central's Query Analytics tool that visually charts unusual spikes in query traffic, indicating a DDoS attack in process. To mitigate the DDoS attacks, DNS servers can be configured to limit the response rate to any individual IP address. This way, it prevents the DNS servers from being used as amplifiers in DDoS attacks, and further preventing the movement of malware from compromised end user systems to more sensitive systems and data center resources. The response rate limiting is a DNS security feature that intelligently regulates response throttling to mitigate the impact of DNS amplification attacks, ensuring the uninterrupted access for legitimate clients and upholding a well-balanced approach to security. Response rate limiting can be accessed in IC bind by selecting rate limit in DNS options, which provides several fields to fill in details like all per second, error per second, prefix length for IPv4 and IPv6, and more. You can also provide the IP of clients you want to exceed from this list in the exempt clients field. By selecting DNS RRL in configuration section, you can able to modify the DNS RRL settings by editing the values for your needs. You can also provide the IP of clients you want to exceed from this list in the XM clients list section. Hotel organizations handle highly confidential guest information, booking details, financial transactions, and internal operation data, which must be protected from exposure to unauthorized devices. At the same time, hotels must provide seamless and secure connectivity to staff's devices used by front desk executives, housekeeping teams, restaurant POS systems, and even back office employees who may need secure remote access during critical scenarios. This means that hotel needs to strictly identify and connect only authorized staff devices to access operation systems while preventing unauthorized guests or external devices from intruding into sensitive parts of the network. For example, staff devices should be allowed to access the property management system, POS terminals, and internal hotel applications, while guest devices remain restricted to the guest Wi-Fi network. DDI Central addresses this challenge through DHCP policies. Network admins can create specific client classes to recognize staff devices based on their MAC addresses. Once identified, these devices are automatically classified into a separate client class and allocated IP addresses from a restricted subnet dedicated to hotel staff operations. This ensures that staff devices have secure access to operating systems while guest devices remain completely isolated. For instance, a client class like hotel ops staff can be mapped to a subnet, say 10.10.50.0./24, where all verified staff devices are enrolled. DCP policies can include MAC address verification, DNS update styles, and domain names, ensuring that only approved devices get IP allocations from this subnet. If a device outside the authorized MAC list attempts to connect, it will be denied access, protecting the hotel's core systems from intrusion. This way, client class segmentation not only ensures secure accessible control, but also enhances network efficiency, giving hotel IT teams clear visibility into which devices belong to guests and which belong to staff, eliminating risks of accidental crossover or malicious access. As we conclude today's session, it's clear that hotels are no longer just about rooms and amenities. They are digital ecosystems where every guest interaction, every staff operation, and every connected device relies on the strength of the network. From seamless guest Wi Fi and smart room controls to reservation systems, mobile check ins, and behind the scene operation tools, a stable and intelligent network ensures that the entire hotel experience runs without disruption. This is where modern solutions like DDI solution step in streamlining IP address management, automating critical processes, and giving IT teams the visibility and agility they need to stay ahead of demand. In short, investing in the right network solutions today empowers hotel to stay connected, stay secure, and stay ready for tomorrow. Thank you so much for taking your time to be a part of this webinar. Right after the session, you will be directed to our downloads page where you can start your 30-day free trial today. You can also visit our demo page where we have a live interactive demo up and running for you to explore and play around with. If you have any queries, please shoot us an email at ddisupport@manageengine.com. This is your host Vikram Aditya signing off. Thank you so much.